Hello, everybody. Welcome to my lecture. Today is Unit 18. Kant's Categorical Imperative and the Nazi official Adolf Eichmann. Chapter 1, Hannah Arendt and the Jerusalem Trial. After the World War II, most Nazi leaders were punished as war criminals, but Eichmann, who led the arrest of the numerous Jews, moved them to a Jewish collective residence or sent them into an extermination camp, had been hiding since the end of the war, but was eventually arrested and sent to Jerusalem by Israeli information Mossad in Argentina. A special trial of Eichmann took place in Jerusalem, and the report on it was Hannah Arendt's book, Banality of Evil, Jerusalem's Eichmann. Arendt takes Eichmann's court testimony and the historical evidence available, and she makes several observations about Eichmann. According to Arendt, Eichmann was claiming that he bore no responsibility because he was simply doing his job. He did his duty. He not only obeyed orders but also obeyed the law. Eichmann helped to carry out the Holocaust of the Jewish nation without any qualms. It is a banality of evil. He was not a fanatical racist against Jews. He did allegedly only his job as a public official. However, Eichmann drew special attention because he abided by Immanuel Kant's moral philosophy and somehow tried to apply it to his life. He was said to correctly memorize Kant's categorical imperative, act only according to that maxim, whereby you can at the same time will that it should become universal law. In German, handelt nur nach der Maxime durch die du zugleich wollen kannst, dass sie ein allgemein Gesetz werden. Chapter 2, Immanuel Kant's Categorical Imperative. The over-mentioned is the first formulation of Kant's four categorical imperatives. Imperative means order or duty. This type of imperative is called the principle of universalizability. It emphasizes the universal character of moral rules. The maxim here refers to personal beliefs, views of life, or philosophies, etc. For example, when you say, it is my belief not to lend money to others, this is your maxim. One can create one's own maxim. Kant's categorical imperative means that one's maxim can be universal. Maxim as individual's principle of behavior should become universal law. It is Kant's great contribution to the ethics. However, Kant's postulate of the universality is not a sufficient positive condition of a moral action, but a necessarily negative condition of it. What can be universal is never can be evil or wrong. General characteristic of evil conduct is private and self-interest. Kant's theory of universalizability is in this regard to be exalted. He recognized the universal character of the morality. Some people criticize Kant's principle of universality for formalism. Categorical imperative is empty of content. However, as over explained, it can function as a necessary condition of morality. Through the universality examination of one's maxim, one can avoid the risk of wrongdoing. For example, if you have a maxim, I can throw away trash anywhere, it is wrong, because if everyone throws garbage anywhere, the world will soon become a garbage mountain. Similar to Kant's categorical imperative are the golden rule of Christianity and the negative golden rule of the Confucius. Golden rule is the fundamental principle of Christian ethics, which refers to Jesus' teaching in the Bible, Luke 6:31. Do as you wish to be treated by others. The negative golden rule of Confucius is don't do to others what you don't want, which appears in the analytics of the Confucius. Confucius' teaching is a negative representation of Jesus' teaching in the form of don't do. Kant emphasized the universality of the morality, while Jesus and Confucius expressed the reciprocity of morality. Chapter 3, Eichmann's abuse of Kant's universality rule. Ironically, the cold-blooded Nazi officer Eichmann declared with great emphasis that he had lived his whole life according to Kantian definition of duty. But Eichmann's problem is that if he had acted with this principle, he could not have obeyed orders to massacre Jews. Kant's moral philosophy allows no Holocaust. Eichmann was not intelligent, but he was said to read Kant's criticism of a practical reason. However, the moment when he was given the task of cleaning up Jews, he gave up living according to Kant's principles. He knew that Kant's universality duty was no longer applicable in an era where crime was legalized by the state. Therefore, he reinterpreted it in a distorted way as follows. The principle of my action is to act in accordance with the Chancellor Hitler's orders. In the end, he distorted the philosophy he knew in order to live well under Nazi regime. He was a successful man in the Holocaust. Thus, investigated is concluded that Eichmann had no idea of Kant's practical philosophy. Only he tried to benefit from the knowledge of Kantian ethics, defending his innocence in the trial. His collaboration with the Hitler's regime in Holocaust has nothing to do with the Kant's categorical imperative. Chapter 4, second formation of the categorical imperative. Kantian definition of duty, which Eichmann mentioned, is trial is not different from the categorical imperative. As already mentioned, the first form of categorical imperative has solely to do with the universal form of duty. The second form of the categorical imperative refers to the humanity of a practical duty, as in such a way that you treat humanity whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. Here we should firstly understand the two important concepts of the moral, that is humanity and the person by Kant. In other text place, Kant connects humanity with the homo noumenon, while person with the homo phenomenon. Noumenon, man, means the archetype of man, ideal man, which is similar to the man with image of God in the Bible. Phenomenal man is actual man, empirical man in the world. Noumenal man as humanity also refers to the community in man. The difference and the diversity, variety of man is too great to easily recognize the universality of it. Therefore, we need to use the concept of humanity in the empirically encountered man. It is like the nature of man. Kant stresses the universal concept of man, that is humanity. We should always treat humanity as an end. Of course, we can treat them as a means to an end. For example, in the workplace also, we can hire men in order to use their labor forces. However, under these circumstances, we should respect their humanity also. Kant himself objected emphatically to the slavery system in his time. Man is in itself the end. This tale about the self-end of the man relies on the creation theory in the Old Testament. Man is a completion of the creation. All the other creatures are given to man as his usefulness. They are means to man. Man's humanity is, in other words, man's dignity. Kant declared the dignity of mankind humanity. Through the concept of man's humanity is a person, Kant conceptualized the synthetic unit of man in manifold of the empirical plural man. Man is in itself the end. The tale about the self-end of the man relies on the creation theory in the Old Testament. Man is the completion of the creation. All the other creatures are given to man as his usefulness. They are means to man. Man's humanity is, in other words, man's dignity. Kant declared the dignity of mankind humanity. Through the concept of the man's humanity is a person. Kant conceptualized the synthetic unity of man in the manifold of the empirical plural man. The fundamental insight of the Kant is identical in the theoretical philosophy as well as in the practical philosophy, the synthetic unity of the manifold. Thank you very much for your attention and listening to my lecture. See you next time. Bye-bye.